Shout out to Raleigh Car Delta Gaming, Mr. Game Over 30. He writes this on his Twitter page. He says, you might notice that a lot of people reporting on the industry catch up to my analysis about 2 to 3 months. I've been telling you that Microsoft isn't interested in selling you Xbox Series units for about half a year now. And I put deeper analysis together at the end of October, when they changed the price again. I spent a significant portion of my career in supply chain. And every signal that Microsoft has been sending for months now about the Xbox Series units is that they have almost zero reason to continue selling them. The Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch are outdated machines. Did you hear what I said? The Xbox Series X and S, the PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch are outdated machines. But there's a caveat. If you play on Xbox, you have some aspects to that machine that gives it a stretch into the much more modern segment in terms of what, gaming looks like. Cloud streaming and your library, which is crazy. So you might be playing on what I consider an outdated machine and what the industry is looking at right now as an outdated paradigm, but you're still in the future. It's kind of weird. Your titles and your games and your library is being pretty much taken forward with you so that when you eventually move to a much more market acceptable or trendy ecosystem, I said device or whatever it is, the ecosystem still allows for you to be able to access your games and such. This is what makes the Xbox ecosystem unique. But Xbox is realizing that this console paradigm is a dying brand. These consoles are going to see thunder and fire from streaming and from platform levels of games. And if the platform holders don't pivot, they're cooked. PlayStation is going to only have to make money by fleecing its user base. And its user base is ripe for the fleecing because many of them, like to celebrate how a lack of discernment and spending your money inordinately is actually the way to go. That's literally the PlayStation fanboy, paradigm. So again, I think they're the best kind of customer for PlayStation. He said they'd rather not deal with the inventory and shipping. It's not worth it. It absolutely is not worth it, especially with the subsidized console business paradigm. Remember, I was showing you guys this, right? I said to you, if Xbox or PlayStation sells you a subsidized console, let's say they're big models at $200, in terms of losses. Do you remember when Matthew Humphreys wrote this article? Let me go ahead and show you guys. Xbox loses $200 on every Xbox console, $100 to $200 on every Xbox console sold, up to $200. The Series S, probably $100 at the time. This was November 2022. And the Series X, about the same. And then Sony said that its $499 PS4 was no longer being sold at a loss. But it was still selling the digital edition nonetheless at a loss at that same time. And then material costs went up, and they were also losing money on their own sales. So if we give you, say, a picture of these consoles maybe having sold, say, 5 million units of their collective at a $200 loss, that's $1 billion. Nobody wants to take $1 billion loss in this particular market, especially with the ubiquitous nature of hardware. Why would anybody want to do that? And I think Xbox has been looking at that game and going, this is a very stupid game to keep playing, especially right now with all of that risk. That's insane. That's insane. So Christopher Dring, whom Game Over 30 cited, said to this post, this is from an account I muted. Let me see. From Brap, who said, according to Circana and GSF retail data, Xbox's Black Friday performance makes it clear that consumers have largely moved away from the platform. Brap, that's not true. You're going to go put a Rock 77 yourself if you keep doing this. I'm telling you. You guys have collectively, you have the wrong analysis of the market. I cannot see how every single one of you, it's like you plan to miss the point. It's like you guys, you purposefully do it. We will be telling you, we'll be tapping you on the shoulder and be like, bruh, look here, bruh. Bro, hey. We'll be tapping you on the shoulder and say, look over here. You don't want to look. You don't care. It's going to fry every single ounce of credibility that you may have left. Don't do it. You're messing with a $4 trillion company that gave away Microsoft, Word for basically free for many, many years, hooked a bunch of people into it, and now they're all paying for Word because that's all they know how to use, or that's how they prefer to use, and most of their files are in Word. And if they don't have the, technological, TBA to go ahead and move their stuff to maybe say Google or other documentation forms, they're stuck in there. Their operating system is essentially accessible by almost anybody. That's how much you guys you are messing with this company, thinking that they don't know how to pivot and they don't know how to do business. This is a company that eats failure before PlayStation even wakes up for breakfast. You said the numbers show that Xbox hardware simply isn't a factor in the market. That's crazy. People are trying to tell you. They're telling you here. And Christopher Drink said, although that may be true, it's worth noting that Xbox was not competitive with its pricing over Black Friday. And it seems like there isn't a huge amount of stock in circulation, so it's as much to do with Xbox's ambition with its consoles as it is with customer demand. That's where Game Over 30 came in and put his analysis out here, where he talked about, that's what Christopher Drink said, months. It's been the case for over a year. And he says, nice of you to catch up. I'm only speaking from the perspective of the conversational noise on Twitter. Clearly and obviously, Microsoft has been purposefully trying to zero out Series X, Series unit inventory for some time, probably about 2 years. But no one wanted to talk about it and kept doubling down on more dramatic talking points. Does that make sense? Like they're exiting the hardware market. That was more dramatic. They're exiting the hardware market. Like I said, there's this person that's on my timeline that's just making a bunch of noise. I finally got to mute him. I just muted them. I said, you just need to mute. Look at what they're saying. Look at what this person's saying. Oh, Neo 3, Saros, Wolverine, Phantom Blade Zero, God of War, Marvel Tokon. My guy, Xbox will play these games. You will not have a single exclusive if you ever take it out of the PlayStation platform. And you will have to take it out of the PlayStation platform. Do you know why? Because you PlayStation fanboys, you don't even buy these games as much as you want to claim. You guys are FIFA players, just like me. Mortal Kombat players, just like me. Call of Duty players, not like me. Fortnite players, not like me. That's what y'all play. We know because we see the weekly engagement tracker. And hey, there's no shame in your game, baby, but don't come out here and pretend like, somewhere, somehow these exclusives are going to be this cherishable things. It's status you're playing rather than content at this point in time. So the gaming industry has called your bluff, exposed your BS, and shown you that, for the most part, you're just playing games. And I'm not talking about video games. You're playing games. You're not really invested in this whole thing that you claim to want to be invested in. You want to fight everybody over a dying metric. Even PlayStation themselves looked at it. And what did they say? They said that they were basically moving away from selling units to monthly active users. Monthly active users are a much less resistant way, right, to go ahead and sell games. You just basically go ahead and just sell them games, sell them microtransactions and whatever it is. It's a fun way to sell. It reduces the resistance. That's one thing you do. You reduce the customer barrier to actually go ahead and patronize you. And they're very good at doing it. PlayStation's old school business model that they've always kind of put out there, and some of you've latched onto over the years, you think it's the better business model because they make you believe that it's the better business model. This is what's called good marketing. But the detrimental effects, like Square Enix is seeing and all these other developers who've been jumping into exclusivity and in bed with them, the detrimental effects that they've been seeing is waking a lot of other developers up. Shift Up has already said, man, our next game, apparently, according to the word, what is their next game going to be? It's going to have to be multi-plat. They cannot take that kind of a hit anymore. It's quite silly because now the continuity that they could have enjoyed from having the Xbox ecosystem and gamers who would love to have played their game is gone. Many gamers, once you don't prioritize them, they go prioritize another developer and give their money elsewhere. There are too many places to spend money in gaming today. So this outdated console metric thing, y'all need to go back and revisit it. If you understand what I mean. Thanks for watching. Peace out.